risk that symbiotic shenanigans was a big impact at mid-season and has been pretty dominant throughout the majority of Stage 2.
So now you have a potential of a one-sided Adam, a one-sided Ultron. Is there something else that you want to protect? They've gone for the first ban on the Ultron, so they want to feel that they have that advantage over them. And because it synergizes so well with other flying characters,
$2 million to get a fucking lung transplant.
But most certainly the Star-Lord on a map
in America.
like this that we saw a lot of teams sort of last protect.
Guess I'll die.
Really does seem to synergize well, but it's not as if Mantis doesn't have some good synergies herself. Most certainly with characters like Loki, like Moxie was mentioning earlier. He's got the team up, but also just being able to copy ultimates that frequently. It's good. I imagine this is going to be an Adam ban for VIRTUS.PRO. You don't really want to let that slide, but no, actually, they're going for LeBron. Yes. They're taking the ball out of his hands. They're stopping Polly playing the cap.
Oh man, Fat Daddy Jones, that sounds awful.
Please, the amount of times, obviously these teams, they are so locked in. They know what empowers what, they know what threats are and what might have higher priorities. But so much of yesterday when I was watching back the games in the chat was, why do they keep letting Polly on cap? VIRTUS.PRO, they have decided that, you know what, the threat level has risen enough that it's worth banning out. We also see the Emma Frost banned out from VIRTUS.PRO.
Damn, this is actually a pretty good bet. $1.6 million. Yes, chat, you heard that. $1.6 million. So one lung transplant has been betted on Citadel Gaming. But 70 people have to split that one lung transplant. And VIRTUS.PRO has $800,000 with only 33% with 29 people.
Making sure that you take away the dive characters that could just be involved and be really scary. It's an interesting approach to the draft for VIRTUS.PRO, and it's a perfect opportunity to do it.
Citadel Gaming, they choose not to ban out the Venom in the same way that VIRTUS.PRO did, meaning that if VIRTUS.PRO want to utilize that, Jeff, they can go in with symbiotic shenanigans, and we do see both of those currently being hovered, might be locked in and make it out of the spawn, but that is pretty huge here. Citadel, they look like they're going to be looking in that.
Ooh, wait a minute, this is different.
Of course,
VIRTUS.PRO banned 3 tanks instead of banning all supports, usually what teams do.
But there's some interesting hovers coming in from Citadel right now.
It has to be. You've had 3 of the Vanguards taken away from you. Granted, you've also made sure that Emma isn't available on either side. But a one-sided Mantis, Venom, and Cap in favor of VIRTUS.PRO, and a one-sided Ultron, Adam Warlock, and Invisible Woman, with Jeff being protected at the same time too. So I guess that's the problem for Citadel, right? Is that you have a lot of strategists, but you're.
I'm new to Marvel Rivals Esports. Why in the world do they take so long in between games? What do you mean? Why do they take so long?
Where do you put in the Jeff?
I don't think it's long at all.
VIRTUS.PRO have gone.
You have to remember what's happening on the back end, chat. Games don't happen like bang, 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 bang. No, teams play a game, then they have to pick the map, and then another team has to pick the side, and then they wait for production. Production has to, you know, go through all their time. The casters need to go through their time. There's a lot of things on the back end.
They are bringing out Doctor Strange and the Venom themselves. So both teams.
I'm pretty sure the coaches probably talk with each other as well.
And Citadel with that Angela, they're gonna go in, bring out the Angela and the Magic diving straight.
Yeah, these matches go by fast, chat. These are really fast.
Onto Saipe, but they are dropped down to the earth and taken out by the Axis of Icor, and it's gonna be Citadel who set the pace for this early game.
I mean, that's a great dive, and there's follow-up too. It's the fact that you have Ken just following up on it, everything that Angela is doing. Alex is also moving over towards the Ultron, so this is still just your kind of run-of-the-mill 2-2-2 setup. It's just that you've got Ultron and Jeff as those backline supports. It seems to be really good on domination, maybe even specifically good on this map because of how open, how much high ground you could just sit on.
What do you mean, Mango? You need help with portals?
Is also on the Magic in this dive too. It means that Citadel Gaming are going to take the point first, and Evix over onto the thing to try to stop this dive from happening, or at least be immovable.
They have chosen hyper aggression. Citadel bringing out that Magic with that Doctor Strange as well. So not only do they have that
yes, Chicken.
dive,
I am.
the Psylocke for the follow-up DPS, they also have Tanuki going in with that Magic, with the double strategist, with again Citadel's style that them and Na'Vi like to play, with a little bit less healing output, a little bit more aggression, and the Chains of Sidorak from the Order of the Magic and Chaos combo from Enzo and Tanuki with that Doctor Strange Magic. They have so much pressure on the backline, it's forced VIRTUS.PRO to adjust, bringing out the thing to try and punish the dive.
It's also both teams having access to Luna and not actually playing them in this fight, especially with the triple strategist VIRTUS.PRO. They're going for the Cloak and Dagger instead.
What's VIRTUS.PRO do?
Captain America's shield last time that was dominating. Now it's the spear of Angela. He's not able to move around this thing much. He's pretty much glued to the ground, but he's still taking a good chunk of damage, farming up these ultimates for Citadel Gaming as they win another engagement.
What a performance by Citadel so far. The hyper-aggression. Saipa moved off the Luna onto the Cloak and Dagger to try and sustain them through this with that Dagger Storm for a little bit of extra healing on the actual point. But right now, they're just getting targeted. With even that triple strategist healing, it's not mattering because they're getting isolated. Coming on down from a bomb, not using the ultimate yet. Galactic Legend from Sparker is going to be enough to get Alex. Polly falls as well. Angela a little bit too far forward. And finally, we're starting to see VIRTUS.PRO creeping forward inch by inch. It's Jeff looking for targets on the backline. A little bit of extra healing for the team. Enzo falls, and one by one, VIRTUS.PRO creep on forward, and they are taking down Citadel, flipping on 97.
I really do like these little small cameras that they add down there, so you can see how everyone's like looks and playing. It's pretty cool.
To play around. Melee is even going to change up some of the characters to go over onto the Jean Grey. As VIRTUS.PRO not only taking the point for the first time, but doing it relatively cheaply. It was that clobbering time that was used from Nevix, the Galactic Legend, and then it's Jeff, but that was traded either side. You still have the Freedom Charge and an Eternal Bond, and not too much to interrupt them. Maybe the Eye of Agamotto can catch, but you're sort of looking at where Saipe is and Dreedro, making sure that those ultimates do not come out.
The catch finds the fish. Eye of Agamotto.
Oh my god, Enzo's like saturation or vibrance is like so high. You saw that?
Freedom charge for the bonus health because everyone in VIRTUS.PRO is looking very low. The bonus health is not enough for Dreedro, who will get taken down, and Citadel are once again taking control. VIRTUS.PRO might be forced to go back to Strange, but the question is the portal back yet?
It should be, I think, with the time, especially when this has been dealt with a little bit more. But Polly is finding so much value. He's had his ultimate for quite some time. That's the only thing. He's getting so much cleave damage in. He's actually going to be able to take the cloak potentially off the map. No, it requires them to sort of teleport into safety. The portal plays more of an attempt to throw them off, but the portal is just askew. It doesn't stop Nevix.
Not going to be dropping them off. They don't get the environmental, but that was a brave play by Enzo. Polly respawning will have to rush back. That's not going to be a reinforced portal. This is just a brawl.
Wow.
Enzo Inferno taking out Dreedro, and we are starting to see Citadel taking control. Into the backline goes Jeff to try and set something up. Fi and Ken both went for it at the same time to try and take someone off the map. Sparker's chased down.
Wait,
Ken gets Finzi, has to go off at the same time, and that gives Citadel enough time to hold the point.
I didn't really think that Polly Angela is what I wanted to be seeing, but it seems to have hit pretty well. And again, the ultimate was held in hand. It might be good to start off the fight in the second point. There's not going to be any portal plays available for either, because we saw Enzo try to counter Nevix coming back into this engagement. But as a reminder, VIRTUS.PRO have taken out Venom, Captain America. The Vanguards that they are running are not available to Citadel Gaming in the slightest. And then there's no Emma Frost, so it really is dive central for both teams. It's just a Citadel Gaming with
3-0 Citadel, by the way. It won't be close.
Work with their 2-2-2 setup.
Yeah, I think really I told my chat Citadel Gaming is going to definitely probably win this. I think it would probably be close, but
it's not really going to be fixable.
I don't know.
By a strategist lineup that just out heals it.
Yo, by the way, Fate, congratulations today, man.
Especially with characters like
you play again after this game.
So in this case,
you better win it.
Isn't on keeping those Vanguards alive because they were a lot of them bad out.
You gotta win it.
Is we don't have to heal if the enemy team is gone.
Oh, Nemo. That's the
next. Your game is determines who moves on, right?
Dive. All you need to be careful. You've got plenty of hallways to fly through, but plenty of positions that you can just get CC'd into oblivion, and it's going to be hard for Citadel to get line of sight to help you out in those fights.
Galactic Legend dropped early at the start here from Sparker. Tanuki getting Cypher on the backline though, but Sparker's not finding anything. In fact, dropped low. It's a triple for Citadel. Sparker falls. That is an ult for nothing. Citadel burdened only the Dark Charm for that and keep control, taking the first point, and they still have Heaven's Retribution. They still have Eye of Agamotto.
haven't really had any need, even sitting on the Rage of Ultron, which Alex, as soon as the fight
thank you,
starts to break
chat.
out, is going to try and use it to keep VIRTUS.PRO forced back.
Chicken, whatever you like, my friend. In my opinion, I do think the Twitch is better.
Objective with this composition for VIRTUS.PRO, it's just going to take a lot longer than hypermobility characters.
Taking control of the low ground, Dridro with the Eternal Bomb to try and set up an opening for VIRTUS.PRO, but as crowd control is proving very difficult for them to work around. Nemix has dropped low, but will tank through it and now has that Monster Hulk forward. Enzo, play forward, Heaven's Retribution will come in to the backline, gets frozen out though, and Polly is absolutely countered. Enzo is now alone in the tanking lineup. It's Jeff into the backline to try and create a little bit of space, looking for that Luna to take them off the map. Finds nothing except their own teammate.
Yeah, managed to just get out. It was almost felt that VIRTUS.PRO were using it a little bit as bait to try and separate an easy target for Ken to try and eat up. Can't quite connect onto them, but now it's Finzi doing the damage as to Captain America's.
Maybe if it would be easy if we had Jay3 instead of Naga. I dare you to go tell Naga that. Tell Naga what you just said.
Reach about 2/3 of the progression on this point.
They were winning the fight, but it was taking too long. They had to burn more resources just to stop Citadel from getting close to the 70s. As such, they now have very few tools left to counteract Citadel, but Citadel, they did the same thing. They burned most of their cooldowns on the defense, so now we are just going into neutral fights. Portal aggressively in right off the
Chicken! Appreciate the massive Prime membership on YouTube, my friend. Appreciate it, appreciate it.
To try and take him down. Polly with the hyper aggression onto the backline, but it's
damn,
Sparker
Christian, true.
Back on the Psylocke, who's beginning to clean up with the psychic
assassin. Listen, if there is ever a meta, which seems like right now, if there's ever a meta where Bucky, Namor, are like the pick, put me in the game.
Up to this upper bracket final in the first place, especially on Celestial Husk against
my dad texted me.
He's just waiting for a chance to pull out that Dance of the Butterflies. Had it for quite some time, but they don't want to expend too much to VIRTUS.PRO. They still have to hold on to the point a good amount of time. And Citadel Gaming trying to find a counterattack with all of the ultimates that they have, because they've got 4 now.
Melio started on the Adam for a little bit, got picked off, decides against building up that charge, and has moved over.
What happens when dive becomes meta? Who are you playing? If dive becomes meta, I play my Bucky. I counter dive you. I play counter dive. It's basically what I do with Bucky right now. I love it when people play dive characters against me, because I hook the Spider-Man, I hook the BPs, I hook the Magics, I hook the Psylocks.
Short, they tank on through, allowing the retreat from Citadel so they can regroup and try and recontest on that low ground, trying to get onto Nemix. The lockdown is good. Sparker is down. Nemix has to Monster Hulk just to survive us. Once again, Polly is in the backline.
But Fate of Both Worlds has been used from Saipei. You've got Tanuki that was.
I don't think they're gonna nerf Bucky, especially if Bucky has a negative win rate in every single rank.
The butterflies, it's gonna follow straight afterwards. Melio's been able to grab
Melio with the 3K.
Catch free just in the backline. Everybody from VIRTUS.PRO grouping up after that Fate of Both Worlds get diced apart from Melio, their old enemy, I suppose, on the side of Citadel.
And that is going to be a clean-up. Citadel swap it on 99. VIRTUS.PRO, they need one more good reinforcement fight. They're sticking with the Hulk because it is actually contesting Enzo very effectively on that Doctor Strange. But this is without a Namor. They're just sticking with the extra damage and utilizing the shielding to great effect. Dridro is getting hard targeted on VIRTUS.PRO. Citadel are getting Enzo hard targeted. But both teams are contesting. The portal has come back in. Finzi for what could be the last fight of this first round. If Citadel are able to take control, and with the Galactic Legend, Fi is able to snipe Melio on the backline with the Rage of Ultron to try and contest. Ken is able to hose down Fi. Alex gets Cyper, and VIRTUS.PRO are melted off the point.
They managed to clear it all up. It was more that Galactic.
It was a close round, though. That was much closer than the first one.
To sort of take this domination game mode cleanly, VIRTUS.PRO always seems to be the kind of map that they lose against Berber Patspim in these BO.
You know what we just learned right now, chat? I bet you guys wouldn't even be able to guess what we just learned after watching this first round.
The Citadel game brought out most certainly Polly, another MVP, not on the.
What we need to learn as a community is that everyone here needs to say sorry Jay3, because remember when I said Citadel was probably going to beat VIRTUS.PRO, and I said, hey chat, did I ever lie to you guys? And you guys were all like, yes Jay3, you lied to us, yes. I just want to say sorry, Jay3. I have never lied to you guys, and I told you, hey, if you want to make some money, put it on Citadel. Put your channel points on Citadel. But you guys didn't want to believe me. No, don't say fuck you, Jay3. Say, wait, what the? Don't say pog off. Thank you, Maple. Thank you. I have never lied to you guys. What the?
With the Galactic Legend in hand, and then Melio just being able to farm up that Dance the Butterfly so quickly on the Psylocke meant that he just got a very easy like multi-pick in the end.
Oh,
it's also seeing the magic.
Yeah, watch out for the dot. It said it took it as like you were saying a link. Is VIRTUS.PRO still one of the better teams, or have they fallen off? They're still one of the better teams. They are in the semifinals right now. If they lose, they go to the lower bracket. Finals,
in this best of
and if they win that, they're in the grand finals again.
In a very familiar position of being down.
Yo, Jet!
Citadel.
I appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend.
Triple from Melio, timing so
What do you mean Jay's always
with
capping?
the defensive tools of VIRTUS.PRO. We're starting to see once again that cloak and dagger being brought in to try and make up for the
Angela has always been a good tank. She has like one of the top 5 win rates
in the ban phase.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed to be like the right adjustment. It's like VIRTUS.PRO. I like the idea of going for
How many
Vanguards
teams from each
because there's
region
just
go
less
to
of them.
Atlanta?
It's a
4
strategy that frankly
NA,
is only gonna
3
work nowadays, so they're just going in for all of the strategists or the
2
Vanguards, 'cause we're
China,
only going to get
2
more of
Asia,
those
and 1
characters
Oceania.
eventually. But going for the Vanguards is a good idea to just see what it's like, whether Citadel Gaming are going to be prepared to deal with it. And they dealt with it fine. One thing that Enzo said, they worked on how flexible they are. That includes the Vanguards. It isn't exclusively down to the strategists or duelists if they have to flex.
Hi, Jay. I do like the idea, though. I really do like the idea of targeting the Vanguards, trying to force them onto stuff that's a little bit squishier. But it's just that Citadel are so good at adjusting their entire playstyle and these aggressive drafts that if you just take them off the standard setup of stuff like Emma, Magneto, Venom, stuff like that, they're more than happy to just go, all right, well, I guess we'll just run at you. You better be ready. You banned us, and we're making you react to it.
Yeah, it's given a lot for VIRTUS.PRO to think about, whether it's going to be up into that best of 7 finals tomorrow, or even the losers bracket beforehand. It's still a choice of map that is about to come to fruition in this BO5. So we'll go for a quick break before we see exactly where VIRTUS.PRO want to take us for the next map.
Nice.
Well, hello once again, Rivals. My name is Diatonic, and I've got your after-action report for the second week of the Marvel Rivals Ignite Asia Group Stage. Zero Tenacity, we're back in action to kick things off.
Why would I want to consistently... Wait, why would I listen to the opinion of someone that is constantly carried by TTK? Whoa. I have not played with TTK in weeks, chat. Second of all, TTK can't even carry his own team. He can't. TTK gets carried by Terra.
The fated rematch between Stage 1 champs Reject and the newly rebuilt Gen G. Though the players have changed, the story was yet again one of triumph for Reject as they take
we already saw this.
2-1 showdown. The second day of week 2 started off with a match between veteran team Assemble Fire, who are still in search of their first group stage win, against Incipients. But Incipients had picked up some steam here in week 2 as they won their second game of the week in a close 2-1 bout. Down Payment also continued their winning streak, taking their 3rd win in a row.
I like this team's name, Down Payment.
Sweep. Onside Gaming looked to keep their dominance alive in the next match as well, taking on U-Inks and walking away with a clean 2-0. And in the final day 2 matchup, Zero Tenacity went head-to-head with the Vietnamese.
I think we saw this before.
It was a tough draw for OEG, and they'd fall victim to Z10 2-0. Day 3 kicked off with a showdown between frontrunner team Crazy Raccoon and Onside Gaming.
Crazy Raccoons always has great teams. I know, and their Overwatch team is always insane. Are they
between Gen G and Zero Tenacity next?
Did they make it to the finals?
XOXO01 and Incipients stepped.
By the way, Shockwave, appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend. How you doing?
Here with a big win over Incipients. We ended the day on a very interesting matchup between Reject and Rocket University.
Crazy Raccoons are in the lower final. Winner goes to LAN versus Gen G.
But the only 3 maps the day would go
I think the only teams that they got are the
final
China teams, right?
Stage began with 2 Legacy Ignite competitors, XOXO01 and Assemble Fire. A matchup that EXO would win handily 2-0. Reject were back up against Down Payment, and the Stage 1 champs would emerge victorious here.
Oh yeah, they got the China teams. So they got
last match against U-Inks and would complete a
OUG, who made it to China the first time.
And finally, the group stage would close with Gen G taking on OEG, with Gen G picking up the last win.
And this is a new team. Homestuck Freak. Appreciate the massive prime sub, my friend. Yo, TTK's dad. How you doing? So VIRTUS.PRO and Citadel made it. Yep, we're waiting for that third team.
The competition in the Asia region is looking hotter than ever, with only the top 2 teams qualifying for the Grand Finals LAN tournament later this year. Well, that's all for now, rivals. I hope you caught your breath, because we're about to dive right back in. Get ready to ignite the battle.
Oh, you still have 43 seconds. Wait, there's only one team. Wait, let me go back. 2 teams make it from Asia. Crazy Raccoons against Gen G Esports. Whoever wins that, that's going to be a great game, I think. Too bad we're not going to be able to watch it, because that's really early for us. I think Oceania, Oceania only has 1 spot, and it looks like this team right here, Chopper Mag, 3-0'd Vulcan Red, 3-0'd Ground Zero Gaming, and now the team that 3-0'd both of these teams are just...
4-0 the stage. It's a common pick, as you sort of mentioned.
Who's on Chopper?
But it's the last times that we saw VIRTUS.PRO lose on this map. The last 2 times were against the Patapim team that stopped them from actually qualifying. I think it was even the last map in that final series.
Hogs is on Ground Zero Gaming.
Citadel Gaming, that were Patapim, actually qualify for mid-season finals. So this one has consistently been a banger of a map to watch these 2 teams play.
Yes, it has. There's a lot of history here. This is very much a redemption run for VIRTUS.PRO, but it's also statistically what they have been bringing out. Throughout this phase, every time they've lost map 1, they've gone to one of 2 maps, and that has been Araco, which they have had less than success on, and Midtown, which they have had significantly more success on. VIRTUS.PRO definitely adjusting. And a lot of that comes down to how they like to play point 1. While the rocket is effective on both maps, both maps are played quite similar with the spawn.
Are you guys not like...
This is a map
must be Jake, by the way, for 21 months. I appreciate it. Wait, 21 months of sub to just listening to Jay3's soft, sweet lies. I've never lied to you guys in my life.
We need to see.
But are you guys not warming up for your next game, or are you guys just chilling?
I guess is the best way to describe it. Citadel Gaming, going back to
since you guys are already warm, probably.
Perma-banning out the Mantis to begin with, but it does mean that we are going to get a one-sided Emma at least, which makes sense. It follows the plan that VIRTUS.PRO have been trying to put together in this series if they want to continue it, but also we're on a
Wait, what do you mean some people went for a nap? Don't you guys literally play after the series?
Lose on Convoy at all this stage.
Adam Warlock taken out, and like you say, not losing on Convoy at all is gonna be a threatening statement. Not only is this a map
I wish I
where
could take a nap right now.
On to qualify, not only is this a map where Citadel haven't really lost on this stage.
Can I just throw out that going back to school in your 30s is rough?
There's just so many things.
You know, when I was doing my nursing, I saw people who were much older than their 30s.
The Venom ban from VIRTUS.PRO, and they do so sticking with the Vanguards.
And, you know, to me, I think there is no age on going to school and trying to better yourself and learn.
At the same time,
I respect that.
Teams that are in the server currently.
It's like going to the gym. Like going to the gym isn't for just for fit people. No, if you want to go to the gym and you're a bigger person and you want to go lose weight, I respect that. Putting yourself out there and going to the gym to do that is you know, that's an achievement. Not a lot of people would do that.
Appreciate here.
I respect that.
Jeff. We do see once again VIRTUS.PRO batting out the Captain America.
Deadorb? Appreciate the massive 2 months.
Angela actually sees a little bit less play. There are environmental pickups on most of the points here. They're just quite spread out, so we may see Angela, but it's a little bit riskier. Groot, on the other hand, is pretty consistent. We'll see him almost every single time that there is at least a triple Vanguard, triple strategist set up on this map.
Gotta go back, chicken.
Just banned out. Ooh, VIRTUS.PRO.
Wait, did I?
You're going to
Oh, Daydor for 2 months. Must be Jake for 21. Homestuck Freak for Prime sub. Shockwave Prime sub. Oh, Sunny Sand. Appreciate the massive 12 months. Jetlius. Appreciate the massive Prime sub. Sorry.
Level of like protection to that backline because it is just all strategists being banned out.
See, the problem with that, no lie, I recommend gymming with a partner. I almost never enjoy working out alone. See, the problem with that is that it is good to go work out with a friend, yes, because like you guys motivate each other and you guys like some low key like compete against each other, try to like get each other strong and whatnot, right? But I think if you rely on your friend going to the gym for you to go to the gym, you're always going to rely on that person and you're never going to have the motivation to go for yourself. So if your friend doesn't go, you're not going to go. That's a common thing I see with people.
Because it is going to be VIRTUS.PRO starting.
You have to want to better yourself. You have to go to the gym for yourself. Going with a friend is great, but like you have to be committed yourself.
Mantis, Adam, and Jeff. It's the strategist backline looking good, but it is going to force Polly and Enzo, as well as probably Melio in some of these cases, because we do expect some triple Vanguard in play here. Certainly if Citadel are looking to defend first, means that your options are somewhat limited in these games. And it also makes sense why that first ban of Emma comes in. Not only is she really good on this game mode, but it is the most like first protected character across all of the maps the Citadel Gaming have. They really want to get that Emma Frost.
My brother was like that. My brother had a friend, and if his friend never went to the gym or didn't work out, my brother would never go to the gym.
But will those
and my friend, that friend moved, and my brother stopped going to the gym.
Moonstone to start off with the Moon Knight to
Not
try
good.
and burn through those Groot walls, set themselves up nice and early. Citadel, they're going to start off on the Groots to try and go for defense, and the Human Torch siege in from above, make the most of the double aerials that they have here.
Ken's able to find the pick. Citadel Gaming not opting for the triple Vanguards. Instead, it's just going to be 2, maybe because they only have so many. But it also makes sense that you have the Torch available so you can have some more offensive fire. And that synergizes really nicely with Melio. This duo lineup is going to work well up in the sky. And then Ken, the team up that's going to have for Loki and Mantis helping with a lot and just keeping like double soul resurgences to keep these fights going can work out wonders. You're not really going to get much, I think, out of copying the Rage of Ultron, but a Strangling Prison already for Polly? It's another Vanguard that he might be having a top performance on, and he's able to take out 2.
Parley with the double was damage boost by Ken. Like you mentioned with the team up for the Mantis, they've set up a wild wall around the corner to keep the team topped up, especially with the flyers in the air. This is Citadel making the most of what they have with an incredible combination, forcing VIRTUS.PRO to swap over to the Punisher, just have something to try and counter the air. Same with the Winter Soldier, try and knock him out of the sky with that tainted voltage, and they're going in for the aggressive play here. Rage of Ultron looking for the counter.
I thought he was going to miss that.
Round the corner, they don't find it, but Nevex has left abandoned, and they still get Fincy.
They've had to reset them all the way back again. There's a minute and a half that's been used up for VIRTUS.PRO. They went for that bunker break on the attacking side, expected Citadel Gaming to be a little bit more ratty and rodent-y, maybe with running the Rocket Raccoon and stuff like the Adam Warlock. But it is just your typical sort of setup, really. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
I think Citadel is probably going to be the strongest EU team, EMEA team.
All of those Vanguards in the ban, there's so much room for activities for Citadel Gaming to play different kind of compositions.
Also, that ult is crazy
because he was hit by the Strangling Prison, but it's all for naught as Ken shoots him down.
The healing output, you can see that massive radius on the regeneration domain from Ken, thanks to that team up with the Deotic Vitality from the Mantis. Supernova into the invisible boundary to just try and out-damage it, to try and set up, to try and keep VIRTUS.PRO stuck at this first point. VIRTUS.PRO are trying to create an opening, and in fact, Melio is dropping low. Alex is the first to fall. Polly is running out of HP. They are running out of healing. Ken is forced to drop an invisible boundary, stealing it away with that god of mischief. Melio has another Rage of Ultron, could go for a counter. They've been able to take out Phi. They're buying time, but the cart is slowly but steadily moving forward.
There's only so much that they can hold on to now that VIRTUS.PRO changed up their comp just a little bit more too. You still have got the triple strategist, but you have also got to favor both worlds if you want to start pushing up. Phi is going to be fighting a 1v2 up in the sky, really. If it
oh, he tried, bro. He tried.
Missing out on the ulting Ultron. He's wanted to see if he can sort of clear up this battlefield that is just covered in fire and flame. One of them is going to be snuffed out from Nevix that's able to get the catch in, and the Rage of Ultron now used on the defensive side of Citadel.
Fire zoning beautifully. The Supernova is going to expire. Groot walls to buy every extra second. Enzo is forced to put their body on the line to step up to make their way in. That is dropped extremely low. Polly interrupted mid-car, set onto the 50% cooldown, and they will get melted along with Enzo. Citadel's defenses crumble at the hands of VIRTUS.PRO as they are easily taking point 1.
It was a good fight in a couple of minutes.
Did he say easily taking point 1? I don't know if that was easy, chat.
Teams get wrong whether there's a way of getting it right. I think that this map is losing the second checkpoint.
I don't know if that was easy.
Quickly. In fact, that seems to be the case on all of the convoy maps. Holding on to second outside of Yggdrasil just doesn't seem that doable in some of these fights with some of these comps. But for VIRTUS.PRO, they're finding a lot more in this sort of frontline success now with Vinci over on the Emma Frost and then Nevix on this Groot. Polly and Enzo not having to switch, but what do you switch to?
What do you switch to? That is the question, because right now Polly is already landing some pretty good shots with these straggling prisons, but has been caught at least once, so it's gotta be better timing. There is a straggling prison actually getting caught, as I say it, by Nevix, trying to wall themselves to freedom, but it's just not enough. Is there enough healing output for the side of Citadel right here, as once again VIRTUS.PRO taking advantage of the
no way that guy was stalling the car. That's a very cool stall spot right there, though.
You don't have a Doctor Strange portal either, so if you're going to contest this, you have to sort of do it on your toesies, and you're running right into the fire and flames to try to get a touch on and stop this payload from really moving for free consistently all throughout second. You've got the Rage of Ultron available for Sparker again. He just seems to have it always in hand as and when needed. And the invisible boundaries, as Cypher switched away,
there's no way
that cloak and dagger to the invisible woman has really been dividends to allow these fights to end up being a
I think you should have threw it at someone else.
Objectives. Now finally you have Citadel Gaming finding a couple of picks themselves, and now it's a hot commodity for VIRTUS.PRO to keep contesting, but there's still a minute left.
A minute left. They are, however, getting quite staggered. They're holding the point, though. Just ever so slowly retreating, but they're not actually backing all the way up the ramp. They are going to get punished.
Why does Tanuki's, like, I understand it's a forehead cam, but why does his room look like a jail cell?
If they were staying there, there was a chance they wanted to potentially recontest with Nevix using the straggling prison, but with Citadel Gaming, they've now been able to take advantage of this and actually pick up a stagger. Do we force out the silent seduction from Fincy just to try and create some space and open up the pathway? But Nevix is still walking back.
Listen, I don't know what basements look like, chat. I live in Florida. We have no basements.
Taking a few pod shots, trying to see if he can scout out a bit more information. Vinci taking a lot of damage. Has to back out a little bit more at the end of that silent seduction. But
we can't have basements in Florida because if a hurricane comes, it's a flood. You get that would be horrible.
But needs to keep an eye on the flanks that he was watching beforehand. As soon as he starts to look away, that's where Fire starts to come in. You've got him potentially right behind where Citadel Gaming are playing for, with a supernova in hand. So this is going to be very uncomfortable if it wasn't for Tanuki.
Oh!
Because OT is going into action, Tetcher, and VIRTUS.PRO are throwing the fire.
That was close.
Enzo's media rep finds nothing, but that cannot be said for Fi, who is creating a huge zoning area with these flames from the Supernova. Spark is going to try and chase down Tanuki and will get him. One of the best hit scan players for a reason. The rocket is zoned. They're not even close to that point. They're having their own little battle. Vinci is melting. It is still Citadel, still trying to contest this, but Spark is going to be able to make their way back in as they did take care of Velio off to the side. The Supernova coming on out from Tanuki as the last-ditch effort for reinforcements. Remember, no portal from the side of Citadel, but there is a portal from the side of VIRTUS.PRO, and Nevix is going to try and bring them back to keep this fight going. The torch.
Oh, that was an important 1v1 to win for Fi.
Can they hold this? The portal brought back a couple members. VIRTUS.PRO contesting this for as long as possible. The shield is giving them everything they can. Polly returns to the battle rebirth beacon to keep this going. Ken with the clone into the soul resurgence to buy as much time as they can, and VIRTUS.PRO once again it is shades of last stage. They are stopped in the underground.
That just fight seemed to be going on for so long. Citadel Gaming, how they managed to get the numbers back without a Strange. It was a really nice idea to move over to the Rocket Raccoon as well too, just because not only do you have to be right back, we saw, I think it was Fi that was trying to go into the backline to fight Melio, and he wasted like 35 seconds to try and go for this 1v1. Meanwhile, the rest of Citadel Gaming, all of these tanky
Jay, I wanted to tell you that I was on Mantis ulting my own Jeffrey. My own Jeffrey eats me and throws me off the map last night.
It seemed like they were just going to get that.
That sounds very.
Yeah, second series in a row where we've seen.
That sounds very normal from all rival players.
Space on a wall
I wish I can.
For a bit, actually being pretty viable.
I wish I could say that's probably not, but oh, Emily's outside with Noodle.
Even with the portal,
I think she's going to
reinforce it too
the
quickly, and sustaining with that triple strategist bought them more than enough time.
Just seeing as well, outside of the 8 times that we've seen Citadel play in Convoy game mode full stop, 6 out of 8 times Emma Frost has been at first protect, or Strange, or Adam. So they did
I just got a scam call too. Nice.
Here. I think it's one of those ones that, like for VIRTUS.PRO, if you go for the Vanguards, it limits your options.
Yeah, there's a lot of Jeff players that I played against, or that I played with, that decides to ult me on my own team and say there's a bug on me and I die.
Luna,
and they take me off the map.
You're really going to pick 3. So you're almost spoiled for choice. I like the Citadel sort of, okay, we're going to go for the Jeff here because we can make it work in a 2-2-2. In fact, it's going to be him and Alex that are just this strategist lineup for the more offensive option to break through. They catch on to Finzi straight away, but the Rocket Raccoon Beer back is going to bring him straight in.
VIRTUS.PRO, this competition is supposed to have sustain. You're not supposed to get taken out in the first second of the round. The pressure from Citadel right now, but the revives. VIRTUS.PRO, once again, as we reiterate, they've got Rocket for Battle Rebirth Beacon, which has been burned quite early. They have Portal from 5 if they get taken down. This is about the absolute attrition that VIRTUS.PRO can now bring to this to try and slow down Citadel. But Citadel's damage numbers, VIRTUS.PRO, it almost feels like they're just surviving by the skin of their teeth. They are barely holding on. Finally, they're
oh, they blocked that Groot ult from Nevix.
And Polly still has his ready to go.
And Melio having the Punisher.
Jeff. Everybody sort of backed up into this room. He's going to force out the invisible boundary, which is what VIRTUS.PRO were probably looking for. There's an eternal bond in hand for Dreedro, and there is. You can force out more of these strategy ultimates. The final judgment is going to try to get a little bit more action, but it's really setting up this Jeff Nado combination. It's charging through. It's only managed to grab onto one
oh
player
no,
Nevix,
they used the Jeff ult with that too? Oh no.
Away from the rest of the pack.
Oh no, chat. Citadel's fucking up their ult rotation right now.
A little bit more scary, precarious when they're trying to get past this. Honestly, VIRTUS.PRO are holding this with their damned lives, and it seems to be working out.
They are giving everything for this point. They are holding it. Fire is still up. When they go down, it's portal time. But they just held that for almost 2 minutes. Citadel, they're bringing out the Jeff Nado to try and counter triple strategist because you can't heal if you're in Jeff. It's a pretty solid strategy. And of course, that Jeff Nado combo means the duration is extended, means they can contest that for longer. But you're only going to get that every now and again, whereas VIRTUS.PRO, they're just going for maximum duration. They're not actually going to contest onto the point. They are giving Citadel a little bit more distance in exchange
yeah,
for
but I don't think that Jeff is going to ult until
they're putting it in a place where they actually get out the other side, so it's a little bit
their Storm has ult.
Able to make a pretty much invulnerable wall that allows VIRTUS.PRO to try to group up where they want this payload to stop and go for this engagement now. Invisible Boundary and a Strangler Prison means that they want to concentrate this engagement for Citadel Gaming, pretty much force them to jaywalk onto the roads of New York, but a final judgment might be the thing that cuts on through. If Nevix actually able to grab
two, bro, Nevix actually getting a lot of kills. So dude, if they kept Melio up, he would have popped.
This. They don't have a Strange to teleport.
Jay, what do you think of Daredevil? Is he balanced? I think he's balanced. I don't think he's
They do have
overly broken or anything. I think he's actually a very hard character to play.
With the Goddess boost will allow them to get a little bit of a speed boost to try and rush to the point, but VIRTUS.PRO, sensible decision. They try to step up to make it so that there's more time that has to be burned. 1 minute to go for Citadel to hit that second point.
What's up, Prashado?
Here comes the Jeff Nado to create the opening. Dark Force teleport being prepared, so they go and wrap around to the side instead. Once again, gonna pick up Nevix, who can do nothing to stop them.
Oh, and they're actually getting a little bit more. Sparkers forced back too. And I don't know because he had the
Jeff Nado.
It's not really going to be too
very
much
strong, chat.
Pro to stall this other than just individual players throwing themselves.
Very strong, very strong, very strong.
But it is more just the wasting of time. There's 3 minutes now for Citadel Gaming to reach the end of second and to pick up their second map of this BO5.
Beautifully executed so far by Citadel. VIRTUS.PRO, they have been absolutely dragging Citadel through the mud.
Do you ever think we'll get a strategy soon? I'm pretty sure season 5 and season 5.5. I don't know. I think Marvel Rivals, if they were really smart, they would be coming out the next few seasons with just support characters and just tank players. We don't need another DPS. We don't need another DPS. Unless the DPS, hear me out, chat, unless the DPS.
It's whether you can force stuff out. In fact, Citadel are like, we're not going to wait. We have 3 big ultimates we're going to use them
is Deadpool. Deadpool, I feel like, would be very good for this game.
It's not going to do a thing. And it makes sense, too, because yet again, VIRTUS.PRO won't have that portal to rely on because that fight got wiped so quickly.
They're trying to step up to the point.
No, Deadpool should not be a tank.
Trying to create as much space as possible. VIRTUS.PRO will be able to make it back, but they have to rush out fast. Captain America coming in. They've had to swap to Angela. Sidebay was caught, isolated from the team. They're able to be taken down. Vinci falls, and VIRTUS.PRO are getting melted. That's the butterfly. But out of the
that's GG's chat. Damn.
Moves in. That is 2-0 to Citadel.
I did not think.
It was a really good fight, a good decision. Whoever called that one for Citadel Gaming to go for something uber aggressive. It felt that teams were setting up for the neutral, farm up some ultimates, but because Citadel Gaming had 3 good
I thought this game was gonna be close, bro.
And just completely decimate them. Tanuki this time getting the MVP away from the Vanguards a little bit.
Bro, this is not even fucking close.
But you've got people like Ken.
Yeah, I guess CTG might be the best team in EMEA. CTG is beating Virtus.Pro. They're up 2-0 right now. Also, I mean, I'll have the hiccups. Citadel 3-0 to Navi yesterday.
Every time the fight happened, VIRTUS.PRO were barely surviving, and Citadel were just kind of vibing because they were.
Why do these go to 5 when America goes to 3? America is not. I think America is actually tonight going to 5, but America's not in the playoffs yet. Next week is the playoffs. So next week, chat, just as a heads up, I am not going to be able to start my stream early, and I can actually finally sleep in. But there are no EMEA games next week. America is going to be. Yeah, but instead the streams are going to be very late. The streams are going to go very late.
Objective-based maps where they want to take these fights and stuff. As is Citadel, because it is a game mode that they haven't lost on, and that's going to continue on.
Yeah, what's up, TTK's daddy?
The macro side of it, Citadel are playing really
because
nicely.
we had the playoffs for NA next week.
In this curveball of going for the
and the playoffs for NA start.
We have some of the players going. Nobody in this region shoots back, and it almost seemed like it was coped to begin with because Citadel weren't really considered a threat in this region. Now it does feel like the other teams aren't shooting back against Citadel. They're getting diffed right now.
Citadel are pulling a rad from stage 1 where they're just like, why is everyone underestimating us? We're really good. What are you doing? And they're proving it. They're just continuing to push on through this upper bracket.
Chat, just as a heads up, if you guys want to watch the NA games next week for the playoffs start.
Grand finals almost seems like an afterthought if they keep playing like this. VIRTUS.PRO have got to change something.
Yeah,
at 4 p.m. EST.
Because that pressure isn't on them as much. They're going
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
We have to go to
no, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are at 4 p.m. EST, and Sunday is going to start at.
We'll have to see which map it is going to be exactly for VIRTUS.PRO to potentially fight back in this BO5, or it's going to be Citadel Gaming in that grand final of EMEA. We'll see.
7 p.m. EST. Yeah, 4. Can you post a link for the matches here? Exclamation mark tournament. Yeah, this what is it? UST to EST is like very difficult for me. Yeah, so if you look here, and you click on, let's say, NA, bang. This is what we're watching right now. These are the brackets. But if you click right here after the bracket is done and go to overview takes you to this bracket, and this is the playoffs bracket. So far the teams that are only in the playoffs right now are Team Nemesis and Dreamland because they're out. Today, I think every other team is going to be in the playoffs though. So Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, all these teams are in the playoffs. It's just for seeding right now. But today we have. We only have 2 games today? Oh, I guess we only have 2 NA games today. We have Rad against Envy. And we have Sentinels against Dark Zero. Two best of 5s. And then tomorrow, we're going to see the winners between Sentinels and Dark Zero and Rad against Envy. And we're going to see FlyQuest go against them and 100 Thieves go against them. It's going to be good, chat. It's going to be epic. I can't wait for these games. These games are going to be great. Yeah. Who sent Sentinels to the lower bracket? Oh, I have to open up that whole thing again. Who sent Sentinels to the lower bracket? 100 Thieves. Yeah, that was yesterday. Yo, Mixed Angel. Appreciate the massive 12 months. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, everyone. I mean, obviously, you guys are having a great weekend because you're here with me, right? There is no other better thing to do with your time than hang out with Jay3, right? Like, what else could you be possibly doing than wanting to hang out with your favorite streamer? Like, I don't think there's anything that you can even think of. Eating food? You could eat food while hanging out with Jay3. Sleeping? You could be sleeping while hanging out with Jay3. I could be playing with my cat. You could be playing with your cat with Jay3.
Continuing their journey towards that grand final,
jaking it? You could be jaking it with Jay3.
Begin the reverse sweep to find themselves in their first Ignite Grand Finals. They've yet to make it this far.
It would be a pretty big test, I think, and we're sort of used to seeing them in grand finals and even winning up the best of 5s, best of 7s in some cases, but not with this draft style, not outside of
Taco Bell at J3
and stuff like Night Shift, but it really is a case of like what choice of map do you go for?
J3 ain't doing that.
Jalia in the past, they're pretty much forced to go to Convergence, so it has to be one of those hybrid game modes, and that was a map that Citadel did lose. In fact, it's the only time that they've lost in this game type, up against, I believe it would have been Chopped actually in that best of 3 series.
What's up, Smoking? How you doing? How you doing?
Look a lot better on Jalia when they played up against Navi yesterday. So that one area that could be exploited seems to be at least fixed somewhat for Citadel Gaming. VIRTUS.PRO listening out for the music to see exactly what it's going to be. It is going to be Jalia again.
Dinner with my parents with J3. Exactly.
Surface. We are sticking with Jalia, a map that we used to see trouble some of these teams, but
okay, let's see this chat.
Trying to use it for redemption here. All they have to do is to get that statue of Bast.
Are Shib and Dogman casting NA later? I have no idea. Probably.
Seems that there's a strategist in the banning order for VIRTUS.PRO, which they first banned out Mantis on Celestial Husk earlier. But then it was Venom, Cap, Emma, Venom, Cap, Strange, which sounds like a rap almost. That sounds like a beat that somebody should make
into a song. Shib said he ain't here. Oh yeah, Shib is at a wedding, so I don't think Shib is actually streaming yet.
Something more
Crystal, what? That's
general,
sad.
I suppose, in their approach.
Speaking of the approach, we will see with that Luna.
Why are you still the same height?
Bro, open for Citadel
if you know what, I'm gonna prove it to you guys right now and here. Look, if I didn't put my desk up and I'm standing, you guys, is this the camera, the angle that you guys want? You guys just want to look at my titties?
Makes sense, trust me.
Is this what you guys want?
Play that character for the fast rollouts. Mostly on the defense,
there you go.
But it is just making sure that they can go for something one-sided and maybe even give VIRTUS.PRO a taste of their own medicine here with the draft. They want to one-side the Venom themselves, but ultimately...
Shroud X is not a thing anymore now. I think Shroud only made a team for... Sorry, I gotta come to my mic right here. Shroud only made a team for like one season, and then Probably didn't want to pay them anymore.
Venom. This is kind of trying to force VIRTUS.PRO's hand to take out the Jeff, which they could do so in the double ban phase here. But VIRTUS.PRO first prioritizing the Star-Lord. Very sensible. If there's going to be a Venom on the board, then Star-Lord is a great follow-up for that. Sometimes going in for a Feast of the Abyss with a Darts with a Blaster Barrage could be a really scary setup, and this makes it very easy for Venom to try and land those final hits. No Jeff
Why don't
bans
you
yet,
make a
though.
team?
Citadel, they take out Sparker's Adam.
Why don't I make a team? Because I'm poor and I can't afford a team. I'm not Shroud, chat.
Here, VIRTUS.PRO are trying to make sure that the offensive capabilities of Citadel Gaming's preferred 2-2-2 are not going to be fully available to them. So instead of going for the Vanguards in the draft, it's almost like they're going for the Duelists, and I'm counting Ultron in that pseudo role as well to an extent.
Be even more so next stage, as we will see the protection onto the Lunar Snow, still making sure that they have at least some kind of defensive ultimates here. There goes Psylocke as well. VIRTUS.PRO are going hard.
Damn! VIRTUS.PRO is trying a new ban. They banned Star-Lord, they banned Phoenix, they banned Psylocke, they banned Ultron. Ooh, interesting.
Woman to guarantee themselves a solid backline and set themselves up for a 2-2-2
Also,
that
why is it
Citadel
so
could
cold?
struggle with. But no, it's going to be Emma as the main priority. It's been banned out a couple times.
Will you make a good team in the future?
Citadel,
Chat,
no.
if I hit the lottery, I'll make several teams.
There's a chance to non-mirror something as well, whether it's strategists, take out the likes of an Ultron so it's not available on either side. Going for a one-sided Jeff is going to be a one-sided Invisible Woman. So it's like, what do we still have available here? Jeff's still available. Mantis is available on Citadel Gaming's side. And Ultron is available on VIRTUS.PRO's side. Interesting.
I like what Citadel are doing here. If you're going to have all of your duelists banned out, then you need to make sure that you're getting some extra value. So they will look, actually they're considering switching off it, so I might just be wrong. But
yeah,
they
you can still run Hulk the more
you here with the Incredible Hulk.
You have like all the supports open for you.
The fact that VIRTUS.PRO have gone very heavy on the flyers by keeping those squids and a little bit of extra pressure. And of course the Hulk jumps to try and take them out. We did see a little bit of a hover onto that Jeff as well, meaning it might be a Hulk and Venom combo, which is a little bit risky, but has very high reward output if you're able to get a nice aggressive push going.
This is the wildest draft I think we might have seen in Ignite in EMEA.
Yeah, I think
sometimes you have characters that are banned out in both teams. Like, neither of us are allowed to play Emma. This is the first time I've seen Tekken where all of the bans are just non-mirrored.
I think
so
CTG's
you've got
winning.
Mantis, Venom, Adam, Invisible Woman.
Do you think Hela and the Moore team up is going to be as strong as Gamma?
Psylocke available for VIRTUS.PRO. There's 8 characters that are only available on one side and not the other. It's crazy.
Probably, we'll see.
I
don't know, it depends.
Going to be positioning themselves. They aren't going to go for that neighbor. They decided to pick the one flyer that they still have left available to them. As you mentioned earlier, everything else was banned out. Storm is technically around, but it's unlikely to be seen on this map. And they brought themselves out the Human Torch with potential damage boost from Melio on that Mantis. They're trying to pressure onto the Mantis onto the Angela that Nevix has brought out, and already Tanuki is on the run.
I have forced out the regeneration domain, I think, for Ken, though, but everybody's spread out. You can start to see that this high ground has been harassed. And
Jay3, you look like the DJ.
It has forced Citadel Gaming to the low ground outside of the torch that's thrown in that fire.
What's wrong with that?
But it is fine. Actually,
I don't want to sit, man. Listen, chat. If I'm doing another 15-hour stream, I don't want to sit the whole day. Sitting is very bad for you. Like long periods of sitting, very bad.
To keep the rest of the team alive.
That's why
I'm trying to dive in on the Venom and Enzo.
That's why I'm standing, kind of moving.
They're trying to contest it, trying to buy as much time as they can, but that point is ticking up for VIRTUS.PRO. Rage of Ultron to try and zone them away. Here comes
that sounds like a cool name.
Jay3. Extra time onto the point. Citadel have decided that they will make their stand early, but once these expire, Dorindo has an It's Jeff, and if they're not careful, this triple Vanguard setup the Citadel have swapped to could get caught out and picked off the point. It's Jeff.
Yeah, chat. I'm being completely honest with you. Don't do it for me. Do it for yourselves. Don't sit for so long.
Try to escape, but it's going to be a spit onto the point to try and escape as Melio takes to the sky.
Like, I've known streamers who are in their early 20s get blood clots, which are very dangerous in their legs because they sit so much. Streamers, chat. 20. That's too fucking old. That's too young to get a blood clot.
For VIRTUS.PRO to take first. but they are forced back pretty much to give
That's
up
dangerous.
space. Citadel actually going to lose on this point first, and in a good amount of time too.
The healing output was just not enough. You can see Citadel were just zoned out. The pressure on the backline that Nevix was causing. Fi's overwhelming damage means that Melio tried to back up to let that Loki heal them up, but was just taking too much damage. Was trying to step back onto the point, but just got blown up immediately when they took a step forward. And Citadel, now they bring out the Hulk and the Namor.
Does feel like maybe VIRTUS.PRO, because they went for the Starlord, Jean Grey, and Psylocke in the draft, that they kind of want to force Citadel Gaming onto triple strategist. They feel that they might be able to sort of beat them in this neutral matchup. And yeah, you've got the Gamma.
Holy shit, that hurt. Excuse me.
On the Namor
Sorry.
and Enzo on the Hulk, trying to go for something that is a little
bit
more
L-Titan, it's a roll.
neutral in these engagements, trying to sort of dig their heels into a fight, and they're going to be forced into it off this Angela ultimate.
Thank you, chat. Excuse me. Sorry, my bad.
But they're actually going to back off a little bit more. It's the rage of Ultron that's going to force
Why Flameboy players always use melee? When you melee, you actually generate your primary fire a lot faster, and also pretty sure it changes your hitbox as well.
There just wasn't a lot of tools left to stop Sparker from unleashing the rage of Ultron to push on into this point. Fi already creating a nice zoning location here. They'll soon have a Pyro prison off cooldown to set up. Tanuki trying to take them down with the squid, and it's a blow up onto Fi. Beta both ones has already been forced down, as well as the aquatic blessing to take to the air. Dridro, it's Jeff. Horde of Proteus! It's a fish on fish violence!
Fish on fish violence. Damn!
A little bit more in line, but he's based on the ground. It's nothing to do with you, Namor. Has to chill out a bit, but he's going very aggressive, frenzied approach to try to take back some of his space. And Fi from a good amount of distance away, using the supernova more as a zoning tool to just get themselves a little
No,
bit
they
more
didn't fix Torch's melee. They fixed Phoenix's melee.
Weirdly positioned.
She can't Blade anymore.
Enzo very nearly drops low, but it's a distraction, allowing Melio to come in with the Soul Resurgence. Tanuki is finding pickups one after the other. The ocean obeys him, and Tanuki, not usually a creature native to the ocean, has taken it onto their domain.
I do like Nevix playing the Angela on this point, though, because you could already see it, certainly from Ken on the low-key. Played it a little bit yesterday, just setting up on the high ground in these various positions and crossfiring. Means that he's impossible to dive, that he has good sight lines, and they can position well with where VIRTUS.PRO want to take this fight. Angela will just force you off of that high ground. It's more whether or not Fi and Sparker could follow up with some of the more lethal capabilities, because Ken is going to be incredibly hard to dive. Taking out Enzo is good, but you do have some ultimates to go on this defense to keep them alive, but both Vanguards are actually down on the side of Citadel Gaming.
Hammond's Retribution going to be burned. It manages to trap basically everyone, but you can see Nevix delaying the full follow-up engage here. As such, won't find anything else outside of the initial engage, but forcing people to the inside to try and deal with this problem. Here comes the Silent Seduction to try and deal with Human Torch, get Fi out of danger, but Fi is able to
I
escape,
hope,
evade,
for the sake of their mentals,
VIRTUS.PRO at full strength through this push. Nevix taking out Melio with the flank.
I hope VIRTUS.PRO does win a map.
They still have it, it's Jeff. They still have a fate of both worlds.
Jay get a treadmill? I actually do have a treadmill. I could use it.
Tanuki frozen. Where is that fish? Dridro coming on in, not finding a lot of targets, but the Silent Seduction will zone Citadel off the point.
Rage of Ultron's going to be used, and it seems that we are just looking at that flashing Q button for Tanuki, where that Horn of Proteus is going to come through. What is he waiting for in particular? Maybe the fate of both worlds from side page, sort of forcing that out, but it feels that at that point Citadel just ran out of steam. They couldn't go for this neutral fight.
I'm going to cheer for VIRTUS.PRO because I don't want to see a 3-0, chat. I don't want to see a 3-0.
You can see just how quickly Fi wants to close that distance and take all of this ground for free.
VIRTUS.PRO making some good momentum. This is the best they've looked so far in this matchup versus Citadel. Finally a bad strategy that seems to have found them a little bit of a target. Once again is going to catch Enzo, but Enzo a little bit too close to their team this time. Will be able to retreat and try and sustain.
I think Citadel Gaming is too good of a team to let a reverse sweep happen.
But again, Tanuki is on the flank causing problems.
Seems to be Enzo going down first in a lot of these fights. Just too much damage to be thrown in, and he only has so much mitigation to work with. And that's when he does have like the Magneto and stuff that he could adjust to. The Vanguards are a little bit more open. It's just because Tanuki is on that Namor that they want to keep that team up working for both of them. This time, Polly is going to be the one that goes down first in this engagement, and the Horn of Proteus is going to be used as a
that's
heal. It's not
quite
bad,
unfortunate.
But it has forced out Sci-Fate to bring out that Fate of both worlds to keep VIRTUS.PRO alive in this fight.
Sleep has been used onto Nevix. It's Jeff, 1-for-1, grabs Angela, trying to escape as they spit Angela out to take that Adam Warlock away to somewhere where they can be targeted down, but Ken does have the revive and the self-revive, so they could bring themselves back to try and contest this, but they're likely going to be tracked as Polly is forced to retreat.
Do you think Citadel was just a random no-org team at the start? Yeah, they were. Citadel, I think, used to be called VIRTUS.PRO.
In the actual temple itself, because
and then they got picked up.
Really
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they were VIRTUS.PRO, right?
Kind of tempo up against the Namor whole combination. They just can't set up. They can't really do anything.
Yeah, they were an on-site team. That's usually how things go, chat. Usually, you know, teams start out basically with no org. They're they're not getting paid other than like the tournaments they play in. And then if you do really well and you have like a few wins under your belt, some orgs might be interested to pick you up.
Heroes that they know they are so good at, but if they get taken down, that Gamma Monstro is unleashing in the actual doorway, but it's going to be taken out. Horn of Proteus available, going in for the flank to once again pressure the backline to prevent them from pushing in further, but it's getting dropped low. The Angela causing difficulties. Polly takes out Fincy, and VIRTUS.PRO, they're starting to run out of time here. Citadel have timed their push here extremely beautifully. It's Jeff, Horn of Proteus, it's cancelled out, but no one was on the point.
Hey, that's a good push from VIRTUS.PRO.
For VIRTUS.PRO, almost finishing out the map, and Citadel doing well, I think, to stop hemorrhaging some of that space. The point was taken relatively
Isn't
early
Melio an insane Luna? Melio is a DPS player.
When they hold Hall of Jalia, but the second point just seemed
I think
to go
he
away
plays the
quite quickly.
DPS supports when you need to run triple support.
Switch over from
so he
Ken
probably
to
does
go
the
on
Mantis. He probably does the like Adam Warlock right there.
Soul share to just soul bond to share out some of that damage a little bit more. Current revival if a lot of people go down at once. And it did feel that once that payload started to move into that bottlenecked area, Tetra, that at least Enzo and Tanuki could set up a little bit more, that they weren't just going down over and over again. But it still was a lot of space given up. VIRTUS.PRO might be a bit frustrated that the map didn't finish for them.
Have I played Daredevil yet? Yes, it's on my YouTube. If you go to my YouTube.
A little bit earlier, they lost so much time on that first point where they tried to stay
whoa, Lantern, whoa. I don't go to TwitchCon parties. I don't even go to TwitchCon, but I am going this year. Yeah, chat. If you guys go to TwitchCon, I'll see you guys. I am actually, I will be playing there, so you guys will see me playing.
Feeling happy about it, and with very few duelist options available to them, thanks to VIRTUS.PRO's.
What do I think of Black Ops 7? I don't know if you're a COD guy. Oh, no.
Both best of fives that we saw from VIRTUS.PRO and VIRTUS.PRO.
I would have gone if I knew you was. I don't usually go. The last time I went to a TwitchCon was...
particular matchup, VIRTUS.PRO seem to have Citadel Gaming's number, but it's whether Citadel Gaming can pretty much get to the end of this map to not only break that streak, but also
a year ago, actually. No, I went last year. I did go last year because I wasn't going to go to TwitchCon, but I went to TwitchCon last year because Emily was going, and I wanted to support her because she was doing a yoga panel.
The prize money very much goes up between first, second, and third.
And then before that, the last time I went to a TwitchCon was 2017.
Is good. Melio revives, gets healed and taken out again immediately, but allows Tanuki to try and retreat. But look at VIRTUS.PRO once again mirroring the first point. Instead of actually pushing in to try and take the point, they push everyone off it.
It also makes sense that they're sort of committing hard to this like Hulk Namor combination because a lot of the other duelists have been taken out from Tanuki and Melio. Have to find something.
I have the 2018 badge, do I?
Boss Torch is good at just throwing out this damage that we're seeing from Phi.
Do I go to bed or order food? Hogs, you better win your fucking game, bro.
Something like a Psylocke? Oh no, wait, that was banned out right at the end from VIRTUS.PRO too. So yeah, good luck Citadel to try and find those break points to get past all of this healing that VIRTUS.PRO with the triple strategists are throwing out.
So instead they've gone for sustain. The dive comes in from the Vanguards, but Polly already falls. They've got damage boost and Namor.
Did I go to San Jose? I don't think I went to San Jose.
They need to land their hits. They're finally able to do so. Melio is also going to be doing some good damage. Of course, the main attacks with the quantum magic from the Adam Warlock are hit scans, and the Cosmic Cluster is some insane burst. They do have the tools to try.
Oh, I did go to San Jose.
Portal forced out from VIRTUS.PRO to try and contest.
Yeah, they managed to get the portal play in.
No, I remember going to San Jose for one day, but then I didn't go to TwitchCon. I went there to go meet up with, I think, some gaming friends who were going, but then I went to San Francisco because I wanted to go visit San Francisco. It was like an hour-long Uber.
The World Breaker hold coming through from Enzo to just sustain himself a little bit longer, but Melio and Tanuki have to sort of come back on foot if they want to keep fighting this one. It's pretty much 80% progression onto
Yeah, maybe I did go to a lot of parties and I got like tossed around. Holy shit.
Supernova is making it very uncomfortable for Citadel to keep a hold of this.
Poly is giving everything they can. The delay on the point. Tanuki comes in for that last second flank to get the damage output. And
yeah, for a lot of people who go to TwitchCons or want to go in the future, TwitchCon is like a very fun place to go to meet your streamers or your gaming friends, but to be honest with you, it's not a 3-day event. It's like you could go to the event, explore it all in one day, and maybe the next day go to your favorite things. But like so then the last day is basically walking around and exploring the city that you've never been in. Basically how it is.
But all three were given up for VIRTUS.PRO in an attempt to go for a different ban and stop some of the more offensive capabilities. But Tanuki on the Namor, he's making it sing.
Doing so much damage. It one-shots everything with Mantis buff and just landed that right click with two squids up is enough to want to burst through most characters. VIRTUS.PRO though, they just have a stronger setup in terms of the torch and of course the Ultron in the sky. But if Tanuki lands the hits, it's easily counterable. Here comes it's Jeff or the Proteus to try and take them down, to try and burst through Drindro, who got a double isolation onto the Vanguards and is going to take them far.
Oh, Hogs. I'm pretty sure it's pretty.
On the other side now, Ken is going to try to.
It'll be a far flight for you.
From Poly, he's not able to get too much, and Cypher is actually able to send him straight back to spawn. Soul Resurgence for Alex has to be used, but just as Melio goes down, the Life Cocoon means that he's going to be back in his.
Oh, I will say the artist galleries are pretty cool. I actually when the last TwitchCon I went to, I ordered this. I don't know if you guys remember this. I'll show you after the game.
And losing Alex, it might have to be a chance to regroup as a full 6. If Tanuki is trying to just get his ultimate online.
Oh no, Hogs, that's way too much, man.
But get Alex back into the fight with the Karmic Revival to bring them onto this point.
And by the way, good luck in your games. You gotta make it.
Moving. That cat is still moving. Lockdown from Nevix on the Hulk themselves now. Enzo, the very rare appearance of the Bruce Banner, is sent right back to spawn. But this is once again VIRTUS.PRO burning through time and burning through members of Citadel who are forced back to spawn. And this is going to have to be a reset.
Quite literally burning through them. Supernova was used, and there's so much more for VIRTUS.PRO to rely on in this defense. Poly's trying to reset, but ends up getting exiled, stunned from Nevix, that's trying to win out this Hulk versus Hulk game. The Citadel Gaming might have had a good chance there, just off the Cabot Revival to swing back in. A Horn of Proteus was available for Tanuki, but VIRTUS.PRO regrouped. They backed off and then re-engaged as and when they were needed. Really good stuff on the defense. If they want to try and take and keep a map, this is a good chance to do it with a minute on the clock pretty much for Citadel to try to hit second. A lot of damage done into Fi, who has to sort of regroup with the rest of his team. There's a lot of peel that's going to keep him going, but VIRTUS.PRO have to give up some amount of space.
High ground was taken with Soulbot. Fincy's dropped down. Melio with the final hit. Going to push onto the point. A delay attempt from Nevix with the Hulk smash. It's Jeff to try and gain some control.
Oh, the Jeff tried to eat the Hulk, but the Hulk dodged it.
Is able to get nothing as well. Neither one finding a lot of value, allowing the portal to come in.
Citadel should be able to win this.
Couple seconds worth of delay, but they have to spend Drindro for it. And that was just strange. On the point alone. Fincy, the lone warlock to
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. There's no way Citadel's losing this, bro. Wait, no. Melio's gonna get a fat revive.
They will revive Tanuki onto the point though. Polly and Alex also reinforcing. But VIRTUS.PRO, they are close to their spawn and are running it as well.
It's pretty much all going to be forced out. Iwagamo to disconnect onto two of the Striders.
Oh, he missed the whale. Oh, yo, VIRTUS.PRO actually might get the W.
Fire's been an absolute golden hero to keep this team fighting in this point. Citadel Gaming trying to keep themselves on the fight, winning it there and then off the back of the Cabot Revival and Portal. They have neither now. How on earth are they going to be able to touch?
They're going to have to just try and dive in with Enzo. A similar situation they were last time, but they're down. They do touch it. Melio brought out Spider-Man to try and
oh my god, yo, we have the spike. Oh, never mind, he's dead.
To hit overtime over and over. Alex now on the point, and it's just an absolute treadmill of pickups for VIRTUS.PRO, who are finally
damn, yo, we got our first fucking map win from Virtus. Hey, it's better than a 3-0, chat. I'll take that. Better than a 3-0.
If that fight doesn't go well, I think for Jay3...
Do we have a reverse sweep? I don't know about that. Okay, they're gonna go to a break. Let me show you guys what I got from the last TwitchCon. This is what I got.
But they had the ability to fight back in this engagement. And man, for Thigh as well to show up like this, 39 and 7, 16 final hits.
It was a smaller version, and I DM'd the artist and I said, can you make it big? And this is what they made. And it has Jay3 in the stars. Jay3. Except I need to put it up. I need to hang it up. Pretty cool. Because I wanted it to be big, bro. I need big paintings so you can see it in the background. You guys aren't gonna tell what this painting is if I'm like this. Can you guys even see that? Can you even see what that is?
Trying to hold overtime for extra ticks, but at that point, it's just one by one people coming in from Citadel. While VIRTUS.PRO.
Now, there's no way you guys can see that.
Even Tanuki narrowly missing out on the damage.
There's no way you guys can see that.
It was just a great play for Fincy to go in onto that Camera Revival and able to take down 2 people that were just eliminated. So
nah,
it really is like
I do need to put some stuff up now.
More from VIRTUS.PRO, certainly in these kinds of game modes. And Citadel Gaming might be a little bit worried that this could bite them in the backside.
And this,
that kind of whole draft strategy of taking out Silo.
This is from the first LAN tournament that I went to. Someone made this and had this in the crowd, and I stole it from him. Well, I asked him if I could keep it because I love it.
This is a side of life from VIRTUS.PRO. They need to try something different, and it looks like Duelist Band.
J3, you have a bug.
Now it's Citadel's,
I love it.
Citadel's map choice.
I usually,
domination
yeah.
or convoy if they want to. They have full openness available